ordinarily celebrate birthdays, these young ladies are justly proud on May 14th, 1943, the first anniversary of the founding of the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. It hasn't been an easy year for the woman soldier. Despite efficient accomplishment of her duties, sideline quarterbacks have taken pot shots at her from every angle. Old-timers eyed her with all the caution of a sourdough approaching a rattlesnake. Rumors flew thick and at random, and many a yardbird had it straight from the feed box that the WACs were the Army's biggest problem since Private Snafu joined up. Yet 1 year after the birth of the Corps, the WAC has a 201 file that stacks up well with the best of them. He's serving with General Eisenhower overseas, so efficiently that he has requested an increase in the North Africa unit.
Company! Halt! Line! Face!
At Army posts and camps throughout the United States, she's taken up not only the clerical or stenographic sort of duties she might have had in civilian life, but also she's been given new kinds of jobs requiring newly acquired skills. As a dispatcher for the Air Corps, a motor pool mechanic, a radio operator, efficiently handling the new and complicated GI equipment. She's freeing fighting men for the job of getting the war over with in a hurry. Now that the WAC enrollment quota has jumped from 25 to 150,000, and they're appearing all over in increasing numbers, a lot of guys have an honest curiosity. Forget the idle chatter. On the level, what is this WAC outfit? The Women's Army Auxiliary Corps was formed by an act of Congress at the request of the War Department. General George C. Marshall, Chief of Staff, said that the use of available woman power in the Army would contribute materially to the successful prosecution of the war. One of America's most distinguished women, Mrs. Oveta Hobby, was appointed director of the newly formed Corps, with rank corresponding to that of colonel in the Army. Every WAC is a volunteer. She enlists because she wants to. She's going in of her own free will to help win the war quickly. She's between 21 and 45 and must be an American citizen. First off, she gets a mental alertness test, and then an interview with an officer who determines her suitability for the Corps. Then, if she passes her physical, she's sworn in and sent to one of the 5 basic training centers where she undergoes 4 weeks of tough basic training. The complete GI routine from typhoid and tetanus shots through military courtesy right down to KP. All of it except for the manual of arms. Both physically and mentally, the training is strict and comprehensive. And whether it's chemical warfare drill or Red Cross life-saving practice, she's got a lot to learn and do in 1 month. From here, she may get orders for duty at an Army post, or she may continue her training at one of the 6 specialist schools where she will study further for a specific duty. Officer candidates are recommended by their commanding officer, then interviewed by a board. If they manage this hurdle, they spend 6 more weeks of study. The successful few are then commissioned 3rd officers, 2nd lieutenants to you. Each company assigned to a post is self-sufficient with its own administrative officers, its own PX, its own mess with WAC cooks, and fatigue details. Here again, it's apparent that the WAC is determined to prove she's primarily a soldier, asking no special consideration or attention. Why not? Well, for one thing, most of the WACs have a brother or a boyfriend or a husband somewhere in the service. Like this auxiliary whose son is in ODs overseas. Sometimes he's been wounded or has given his life and can't fight any longer. This officer's husband was killed in battle, but she's receiving the Purple Heart awarded him. It's her war, too. Yes, it's their war, too. And as the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps begins its 2nd year of even greater and more expanded activity, America has reason to salute its women soldiers, all part of the same army, all working to win the same war, and all strictly GI.